Now, ever since I did a video on B-Gamer's B350, you guys have been asking me to do a side-by-side comparison between the B350 and the L400. Now, the L400 has definitely been one of those amazing trucks that has really just like kind of grabbed a hold of the community because it can be so many different things, right? It can be a tow rig, a scout, a mud truck, just about whatever you want it to be. And the B350 is really just unapologetically a mud truck slash mega truck slash whatever the heck you want it to be. Now, obviously, there are some differences. There are actually a lot of differences between these two trucks, but I've tried to set them up as closely as I possibly can. And we are, of course, out here at West Georgia Mud Park today, and the tow rig we have brought along for the job is the console-friendly Cat Eye, and we are also going to be using Red's long gooseneck, the 6 unit, because these are some big trucks, and I didn't want to chance it with the smaller one. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get these rigs loaded up, and we will head out to the mud pits and see which one of these things actually comes out on top. So, let's go ahead and grab the L400 first and get him on the trailer. Now, this thing we all know is faster overall than the B350, so what I did was I actually used the mid-range engine instead of the top end, the bulletproof engine. So with that being said, though, it's still very, very fast, so keep that in mind. Oh my god. I forgot to put the... Yep, I forgot to put the brake on in the Cat Eye before I started loading. Yep, that was a bit of an oof on my part. Alright, well, the brake is on now. Now, I think we'll be able to even out that weight a little bit once we get this thing onto the back of the trailer. I'm hoping and crossing my fingers that we actually can get that weight to even out. So, hopefully, we're not, like, completely sitting on the bump stops of the tow rig the whole time. That definitely evens it out some. Here, let's see. I'm going to let that guy chill right... That is not what I wanted to do. Let that guy chill right there, and I'm going to back up the L400 a little bit to try to get some of that weight off of the back end. Okay, there we go. Now we're off the bump stops. I feel a lot better about it now that we're not on the bump stops anymore. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and grab the Cat Eye, fire it up, and we're going to go ahead and raise those ramps. Come on. And let's see. We'll get those trucks packed, and now we should be good to go. Alright, off to the mud. But as you can see, it really is doing a number on that rear suspension. Just absolutely making this truck work for it. And we have extra weight in the front bumper of this truck. This thing is being weighed down in the front, and it is still just basically sitting on the bump stops in the back. That is wild. Alright, flat out in this thing now, and honestly, it's not bad. It really does do a great job of pulling these things. And honestly, Chevys look so good with solid front axle swaps. They really, really do. I mean, don't get me wrong, you really can build the IFS to be really strong and really bulletproof. But at the end of the day, like, this thing with that solid front axle swap, it just looks so good. So good. Now, I don't think we're going to end up doing the mud pit up here on the left. I think instead, we're going to start out with the really, really long one, see how they do through that, and then after that, we're going to load them back up and take them to the swamp. Or we might just drive them there because it's literally right down the road. But I love how this map gives you the sensation of running on the highway down to the, down to the loading area, and then you can unload your trucks and then have some fun after that. I absolutely love how it gives you that option. My trailer is passing me. All right, there we go. The e-brake activates the trailer brakes, so that's really, really nice. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull in here, and then we're going to get these things unloaded. God, what a great looking setup, though. I love the combination of, like, the tow rig, both of the rigs on the trailer. Like, everything about it just looks, A, it looks like something you'd actually see at, like, a mud pit event, and B, it's just, honestly, I think it's just one of the coolest looking setups I've ever put together. Alright, oops, I completely forgot that the ramp was controlled by the power of the truck. It's very weird how it's like that. I literally, like, I've been playing this game for how long, and I still forget that? Alright, firing up the B350. Let me go ahead and back you up the trailer real quick, and we'll get this guy up to the front of the line. I love the way it sounds. It sounds so good. And a lot of you guys, when I released my initial video on this thing, you guys were like, oh my god, the sound. And I'm like, I know. I didn't talk about the sound enough in the first video about that truck, and, like, I now kind of wish that I had talked about it more because it sounds so good. Alright, B350 versus L400. I am so excited to see how these things do side by side. Alright, we're going to run the B350 first, and then after that, we're going to run the L400. So 3, 2, 1, fire this thing up, and we'll see what we can do. But before we start our testing, let me know in the comment section down below which one of these rigs you would be taking home. Now, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Throw it in the high and take off. Ooh, getting a little twisted up there. Come on. It's skimming across the mud pretty well, though. Actually, really, really well. It's going to get a little deeper up here. Come on. Come on. If we keep that steering moving. Ooh, we went into the middle. Yeah, but that just means we're going to have to go into the middle with the L400 because I want to see if going into the middle with the L400 will really stop all that momentum for it. It's still eating, though. It's definitely going to be able to pull itself out of here. It's just going to do it a little lower than it was doing it, or sorry, a little slower than it was doing it before. It looks so good doing it, though. Like, it looks so good just ripping through here. I know it's not ripping really fast, but it is ripping up the mud. All right, let's see if we can make our way up onto that edge. I'm trying to find every last little speck of traction that I can. Just the slightest version. Whatever slight bit of traction I can. Come on. Dude, this last part of the mud pit is absolutely gnarly. Like, even when you're not up on the edge, I mean, it's still just fighting for it. There we go. There we go. Come on. It keeps trying to shift up, and then it keeps saying no because it's literally just so incredibly thick there. All right, not bad. All right, let's go and shut that thing down. And now it's the L400's turn. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys in the comments are probably thinking that the L400 is probably just going to, like, blaze right through the whole thing. And it very well might, because the tire coating is obviously different, the grip coating is obviously different, the power is obviously different, but let's find out and see what she can do, and fire it up, and go! Right off the bat, it's definitely a lot faster. It's got a lot more power to put down. Let's see if we can keep this momentum going. We're going to have to take this thing through the middle as well. Oh my god! What? Dude! Holy crap. Holy crap. And it wheelied out of there. Well, I gotta tell you, the B350 is definitely going to be the more realistic one, that's for sure. So, at the end of the day, it kind of depends on whether you're looking for a wild, do-anything experience or more of a realistic experience. You literally have the option for either or in both of these trucks. So, let's go ahead and head back into the B350 now, and we're going to go ahead and head right down to the swamp and see how the B350 does there. The B350 may shine in the swamp. I think it definitely has the potential to. I definitely think it has the potential to. It's kind of crab walking a little bit. It's like this truck really likes to follow the ruts in the road, and I think that's probably just got something to do with the type of tires we're running, but like it really just follows the ruts in the road really bad. Come on. All right, we're going to get this guy all the way down to the end. I'm going to park it down there, grab the other rig, and then bring it down here as well. Well, I mean, I don't know. Let's go ahead and actually, we'll run this rig first. And then after we go ahead and run this thing one time, then we'll get the L400 and we'll bring it down here. So let's see. Now for a swamp run. I think this thing should do pretty well. As long as it doesn't get into the really, really deep stuff, it should be okay. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. There it is. You can tell high range is definitely tuned to be a lot more realistic in this one. Whoa! Whoa! Right into the deep stuff. Although you put the lockers on in low plus, and it just digs in and goes. I love running around in the swamp because you never know where the really, really deep mud is going to be. Like, it's all kind of muddy, but there are some areas where it just is way thicker and way deeper than others, and you just have to kind of mentally prepare yourself for that because, I mean, unless you memorized every single spot in the swamp where the mud was deeper, I mean, I guess you could if you really, really, really tried, but I'll tell you one thing, I don't have all of that information in here, that's for sure. Come on. There you go. What's interesting about this truck is that it's super consistent. Like, you always know how it's going to perform every single time. No matter whether it's in shallow mud, moderate mud, deep mud, a swamp, it's always going to perform the same way. And I think that that's one of the biggest selling points of the B350, at least for me, is that if you're wanting almost a simulated mud truck experience that is really, like, literally designed to mimic the real life feel of a mud truck, this is definitely going to be the choice for you, or at least I would recommend that this be the choice for you, because in comparison to the L400, this definitely has more of that challenge factor to it, whereas the challenge factor with the L400 is just keeping the dang thing on its wheels. Now, that's not to say that I don't love the L400, because I love the L400 so much. I think the L400 is one of the most incredible trucks that we've ever had, and I'm so happy that console players have it now. But the only thing with the L400 is that if you want it to be, like, quote-unquote realistic, you should probably just leave, like, the standard tune in it, because that would probably bring it a little bit closer to this truck's performance. But in order to highlight the strengths of the L400, I wanted to at least give it the, like, the moderate engine, right? The mid-grade engine. Oh, we gotta turn those lockers off. Otherwise, we're about to get some major damage. All right, Mr. L400, you ready to hit the swamp? And stopped. Not bad. Not bad. The B350 really is quite a rig. But now, it's time for some literally, like, cartoon-level fun in the L400. Fire it up, and let's go! Thing is so much fun out here at this map. Such a freaking blast. Remember, this is mid-power level. And also, this thing also has a 9-speed transmission, so we definitely cannot forget that. The transmission is a big part of why this thing is so fast, no matter what engine it's running. Like, literally, no matter what engine it's running, it will be really, really, really quick with this freaking 9-speed transmission. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump into the mud, or I should say jump into the swamp, right where we were before, and go! Power down. Holy smokes. What? What? Whoa! I have to feather the throttle or go like half throttle and high just to simply not flip over. Like, that's my biggest concern, is flipping over, whereas my biggest concern in the other one was having too much wheel spin and getting stuck. Yeah, okay, yep, flipped it over already. That's the other thing about the L400. If you drive the L400 a lot, at least like this, with a really tall suspension setup, yeah, you're gonna flip it over at least once or twice. God, it's so fast. Even on the moderate power level, it is so incredibly, ridiculously fast. Really, really ridiculously fast. But once again, both of these trucks really highlight what they are both good at, because they're both really, really great trucks in their own right. And I really encourage you guys to pick whichever one, you know, really works better for you. And, you know, that might mean you pick both trucks. And to be honest, there's nothing wrong with that approach. That would be my approach as well. I would have to have both. I would genuinely have to have both. I love jumping this thing. Oh, God. Turn. Thank you. You can, like, get on the power right as soon as you turn the wheel and just change directions in this truck so incredibly fast. But that has been a mud pit and swamp showdown between the L400 and the B350. Do let me know in the comment section down below which one you preferred, or if you'd have to have both. I personally would have to have both. And if you enjoyed the video and would like to see more, make sure you hit that like button. Let me know what you thought of it in the comment section down below. And of course, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on. And I will see y'all next time.